Hi, I'm Lee from Berkshire Fitness. This is my brother Daniel.
Right.
Today we're going to talk about when you start up in a gym and the different problems and issues that you may face when you start.
Sort of figure out what goal you've got. Like, what are you looking to do? If you're looking to get big, you're looking to get toned, looking to get faster for a sport or increase your technique.
Yeah, I think that's a good point actually. Having your specific goals, you've got to pick the right one. So if you're going in to add muscle and you go into just a functional gym with just box jumps and battle ropes and TRX, things like that, it's probably not the best gym for you because you're not going to be growing much muscle by doing that. You might get fit doing your high intensity workouts and you'll have a good chiseled physique, but it's not really what you're looking for if you're aiming to put on muscle.
When you are starting out, go and actually look around a couple of gyms. Don't just go with the first one that you find. Everywhere's going to have slightly different machines. They have like lady specific gyms and things like that. I mean, it depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Depends the type of atmosphere that you'll be happy in. Some people like to go into a gym and have everyone throwing weights around and go, completely raged up whilst they're training, and yet other people would hate that. You want it to be quite calm and just chilled out, put your headphones in, just keep to yourself. So it depends, you know, it's really worth looking around at what type of gym you'd feel comfortable in.
There are so many different types of gyms around. I mean, especially nowadays, we've got an abundance of them. Any town or any city that you're in, you can probably throw a stone at maybe 5 different gyms. So like you said, if you're looking to do hypertrophy, if you're looking to get big, then obviously you'll want to go to that type of gym. So it might just be stripped down to the basics, just have all the heavy weights and stuff. It may not be all the TV screens and all the luxuries that you get nowadays. In fact, one of the gyms that I go to locally has even massage chairs nowadays. Just
go to the gym and lay down and have a massage.
So that's what you do at the gym nowadays. You go there, you have a coffee, because they've always got a coffee machine, so you put that, get your coffee,
got a coffee
read your magazine, and have a little hydro massage. But anyway, so yeah, there are a few things that, like common mistakes I would probably say, that people make when they first join the gym. When people go in, it's not necessarily their fault, because what you may find is when you walk into a gym, they might show you around. They'll be all happy to show you all the equipment when you first walk in, but once you signed up your membership, you're probably left to your own devices unless they've got some really good PTs that are proactive in there that might come around and help you. But apart from that, I remember when I first joined the gym, I'm not going to mention any names obviously, but I was shown around. They said, there you go, there's the gym. And that was basically it. So what I found is when I was first going in, I would just literally go from one machine to the next machine, to the next machine.
Just work just have a look, whatever they've got, you have a go on each machine.
Yeah, that's basically what I did. So what happened is that they had an abundance of shoulder exercise machines. So what happened was my shoulders started to get bigger, and nothing else really happened, to be honest, because I was going from one shoulder machine, then doing another shoulder machine, then I might do some front raises, and then do some shrugs, because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. No one told me. The fitness instructors in there just looked at you, say hello, and that was about it. I never really received any instruction. I wasn't given a program. I don't think they even mentioned about programs. So, I mean, the problem is, if you've got no knowledge, then you're not going to be able to progress, are you? So I mean, I think that's one of the number one factors, is when you go and actually ask for advice if you're unsure.
You can always tell a fairly new guy when he's following around someone else, and he's just copying exactly what this other person's doing. No matter what weight they're putting on, he's trying to do the same weight. That's quite an easy way to go around and injure yourself.
Yeah,
obviously everybody's different. You're going to be on a different weight. You know, don't follow someone else around. Well, especially if you don't know the person, you don't want to be just look like a stalker.
You might end up with black eyes as well.
Following someone around the gym all day.
And just because someone's doing it doesn't mean it's right as well. So there are a lot of, I find, like domino effects in the gym. So if I could just mention one specifically, so with a shrug, for example, it's just elevation and depression of your shoulders. So what I find a lot of the time, people having rotations either forward or backwards. Now the problem with that is you've got small little muscles that attach all across attachment points along your shoulder here, which is part of your rotator cuff. Now the easiest way to damage those is by doing those movements under resistance. So by having a big weight and rotating, you're going to probably cause yourself some problems. It might not happen straight away, but in the future you might find that you're going to get issues. I mean, one of the biggest injuries, well, one of the main injuries people get is a supraspinatus problem, which is a muscle that attaches across the top here and then around. Dictate up and down, that's all you have to do. And obviously pick an appropriate weight. Don't try and shove on too much weight so you can hardly move. And also, faster is not always better.
Yeah.
So
you'll actually see people doing that as an exercise with the weights.
Yeah, and again, everyone will copy them as well. That's the problem.
Just because someone's doing something doesn't always mean it's going to be right. Don't just go in there and, like we said, see someone else who looks, you know, looks like a big guy or looks like a toned guy, and then start just flat out copying what he's doing, because he might be training for something completely different. He might have just decided, I don't want to train heavy anymore. I'm going to start slimming down and get more functional. And then you're copying what he's doing, and it's completely irrelevant to your actual goal. If you genuinely don't know what you're doing and you want some help, go and ask people. Like probably the best people to ask would be the staff in a gym. Go and speak to the fitness instructors to a degree. More would be the personal trainers, because they've got much higher level of training, like Lee's done.
This goes a bit more in depth, because obviously the same with any sort of training. If you're on a lower level tier, you'll have a certain understanding, but then you'll add to it as you progress and as you gain more experience as well. So it's not just about being certified. In order to be qualified for something, you need to have some form of experience, which obviously the differential between the two. Don't
just go on any old machine without really knowing what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, go and speak to one of the personal trainers or fitness instructors. I'm sure they'll be quite happy to just give you some advice, maybe even write you out a little program.
One good thing, touching on what we were talking about earlier with bodybuilders and so on, one great thing that they do with their workout regime is they do split workouts or split routines. So they'll have a certain day dedicated to, let's say for example, doing chest. Some people put it with biceps, some people put it with triceps, some people just do chest on its own, some people do push-pull movements, some people, you know, different ways that you can break it up. But it's always good to have a goal for that day. So it might just be you're going in to do high intensity today, so you'll be in the functional room doing lots of jumps and lots of ball slams and things like that. The next day you might be doing some sort of strength workout, you know, but there's always a way to structure it. So again, that's a good idea to speak to someone about that as well.
Get yourself a little program would be the best thing. So it's, you know, Monday you've got chest and biceps, and then Tuesday running, Wednesday back and triceps. 'Cause
it gets you in routine then as well.
Yeah. So obviously in other videos we'll go more in detail about breaking down exercises and how to complement different exercises with compound exercises and isolations, and how to progress.
Well, it's good to go in the gym with a purpose as well, because a lot of people will turn up to the gym and I'll see them around. I say, oh, what are you doing today? Oh, I don't really know. It's because they haven't sort of planned beforehand. So it's always good to have some sort of idea. It's so important to have goals.
But yeah, that's what you need. You need to clarify your goal to yourself straight away. If you're going to the gym because you want to get stronger, that's what you need to talk to the PT about.
That's what motivates you. So that's what you need to focus on.
You say to them, I want to get stronger, and they'll give you exercises specifically to get you stronger.
Another problem is when you first start in the gym, it's easy to give up pretty quickly, because you find that a lot. I mean, obviously people join in January because that's the New Year's resolution. So by the time you get January,
you'll never
February,
see a gym as busy as it is in January.
But by March time, people start falling off the wagon. It's because they probably feel like they're not getting results. They don't really know what they're doing. So that is really a key factor, to make sure that you know what you're doing. You've got a plan. And just ask for advice if you need it, you know, just to keep you motivated as well, because then at least you've got a specific goal. Well, again, I mean, we'll touch on that another time, but
just because somebody looks really big or, you know, quite toned, not necessarily completely 100% down to their training.
Yeah, I was just about to say, let's face it, it might not all be natural. I'm not saying that happens everywhere, but it is quite common. I watched a documentary not long ago about steroids and how they're more acceptable nowadays, and obviously widely available as well. You can just go on the internet, probably get some steroids within 10 minutes. I'm not recommending that, but people do it, you know, and it's not just people that do bodybuilding. Joe Bloggs from down the road, he decides he wants to go to the gym, not getting the progress that he wants within the first 2 weeks that he's joined the gym, so he feels like he should be massive, but you know, each to their own.
You're not going to get anything worth getting quickly, because you've got to build up to it. You've got to start with the basics, strength and stability muscles, before you go on to like ridiculous movements, like the stuff that we do a lot, like calisthenic stuff. Yeah. Your progress, you see your progress in terms of what you can do. The more you progress through calisthenics, the more advanced the movements you can do. You can't go straight away and just start doing flag, like hanging off of something, without building the core first. So that's why I like that sort of training too. But
that's absolutely right. So I mean, building a core, it's the same as the foundations on a house. You can't build a house without having a good foundation first. So a core is that for your body. So there's no point just rushing into the gym trying to bang out loads of squats and just loads of chest press. I mean, you can do that in theory, but if you haven't got a strong core, then you can hardly even hold up your posture in the correct position, so let alone try and add in weight and do functional movements at the same time. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you do strengthen your core as well. I don't mean just going in and doing ab exercises, because I've just written a blog actually a couple of days ago talking about different types of training, how we need to vary our workouts, and one of the factors that I talk about is muscle usage. So with your core, for example, you don't want to hammer it too much and then go and try and do another whole workout. So if you did too many exercises on your abdominals, you wouldn't then want to start squatting, because you're going to lead to injury. It's going to end up being detrimental to your health rather than helping you out. You've got to be careful how you structure it again. So that's another thing to bear in mind.
In other videos we'll talk about like the progression of compound exercises and what order to do things in, but we'll come back to that though.
I mean, when you first start, you've got to remember that you have just started at the gym, so I'd probably go 2, maybe 3 times a week max when you first start.
So one good thing as well, especially if you're just first starting out, if you can, join with someone else or start working out with someone else.
Have a training partner.
Someone else who's already training, like just buddy up with one of your mates. You can do it in groups, although I think if you go in big groups to the gym,
you're there all day.
You're there all day, and you talk too much. You end up messing about, just talking too much.
It's not efficient, is it? So at least if there's 2 of you training, and when one of you's resting, the other one can be doing their set. So it's just a bit easier that way.
A bit more motivation for each other, and then you can also critique what you're doing. You can make sure that you've each got the correct form. It prevents injuries as well, but gives you a bit of motivation. So I wouldn't recommend going any more than 3 people. I would have said. You do see that's another mistake that you'll get with especially younger guys. I don't want to sort of categorise, but like a big group of teenage lads will go in, about 5 of them all together, running around doing a competition to see who can lift the heaviest weight on each machine. You're not going to get any progress at all doing that. You're wasting your time really. If you're going to go seriously, go consistently. Don't just go there for a laugh. Don't go in the gym and standing there and just staring at girls or staring at blokes. It's ridiculous.
Well, you can go to the pub or go to a club to do that.
If you want to go and hang out with people afterwards, they've got an area downstairs where you can go down and have a coffee and talk to people. Or you can just go to the pub later on. When you're going to work out, go to work out.
This is sort of touching on gym etiquette now. In a normal gym, they probably wouldn't want you to take your top off and stare in the mirror, so you probably get that quite often.
There is an etiquette. You've got the written rules on the wall, but the main ones that are going to get other members off at you is going to be leaving weights out Not put like just getting weights and just leaving them on the rack. Don't do that.
Letting your sweat go on everything and not wiping it down.
Wipe down equipment. Don't hog equipment unnecessarily. If it's busy, try and mix things up. You don't want to just go and sit on the chest machine for 2 hours, because you're going to have a big queue of people and not very happy with it.
And the other thing people are starting to bring back from the 80s is people seem to be coming into gyms with ghetto blasters and stuff like that and walking around putting their own music on. The gym normally has music. You can also come in with headphones in your iPods and stuff.
Put headphones in.
You don't have to.
If you want to listen to music, unless you're going into one of the studio rooms and you're the only person in there, or you're the first person in there, you've got dibs. Put your own music on. But if you're walking around the gym blaring out music out of a phone, some sort of mobile speaker, and everybody else is trying to concentrate, it's going to be, you're going to be people off.
Yeah.
Lee's just gone out to train someone. I'll be going to the gym myself in a minute, so I'll finish this up on my own. This has been a video for Berkshire Fitness. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Go to the links at the bottom to the website, and we'll see you again for more videos very soon.